We're
All
live.
right. The very first pilot episode of the Untitled College Football Show, name pending, trademark pending,
Program.
program, all the names pending. We're figuring it out. I got to my right, the boy Joof, big Baylor guy. To my
Huge.
bottom, the bottom of me, Matt, and then Travis. What's up, boys? How we doing?
Pretty good.
I'm great. I'm gonna retweet these links real quick.
All
Let
right.
people know we're live.
Well, I guess while we might as well get into it. I mean, I think the game of the week, we got to start in Knoxville, right? Probably the best game of this upcoming weekend, right, guys?
I'd say so. Top 10
Hard
matchup.
Depends on who you
hard
ask.
to argue
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Would have been top 10 if Nico didn't transfer out.
You're a Nico guy.
No, he sucks. He's a bum, but
I'll say he's been bad at UCLA.
I mean,
Been
UCLA
getting
is
paid, but yeah.
they're just bad.
Matt, you made a face. You have a strong opinion on this, I feel like.
Nico,
Yeah.
I don't know how. I actually think Nico. Everyone's got a strong opinion on Nico in some way, especially if you're a fan of SEC football. But yeah, everyone's got something to say about Nico.
I mean, I think at this point,
But I don't think the Tennessee fans care now.
Yeah, I mean they don't. I mean Joey Aguilar has been better than Nico at UCLA, but I think with Nico, he's gonna be like the horror story of what could happen if you go to the portal and get in the portal and go to the wrong school. Like Nico went from having an actual shot, maybe going to the NFL, to now probably not going to be drafted with how he's playing now at UCLA. Might have killed his career. Him and his dad did.
Very true.
But
Yeah.
Has anybody in that system ever been successful in the NFL anyway?
It remains to be seen. Hendon Hooker, I thought, was going to have a pretty good shot, but not quite yet. He hasn't got a shot with Detroit, but
I mean, you can date it back to Leach, like Graham Harrell,
yeah. Well, Graham Harrell was the OG, kind of in the Leach quarterback tree at Texas Tech, but
Luke Falk, was at Washington State, yeah. I don't think anybody in that system has.
It's probably Gardner Minshew. He's probably
the only one.
Gardner Minshew's probably the answer, yeah. Because Gardner's been a guy who's been a career backup, but it's a fringe starter, in case your actual starter goes down. He's been a fine NFL quarterback for what he's needed, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Georgia, Tennessee. Georgia's a 3.5-point favorite. The total's at 50.5. Game's at 2:30 p.m. Trav, why don't you start us off with that one? What do you like?
Oh, I get to start.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the heads up or the start.
Well, we've seen it multiple times, and this is kind of where my head's at going into this game. That the offensive system that Tennessee is going to try to come in and run against Georgia is does not work against Kirby Smart, and obviously we've seen it multiple times when Georgia and Tennessee have played. We saw it when TCU and Georgia played in the national championship. Because the thing is, to be successful, with that system, the quarterback's gonna need time, and you're gonna need to dominate on the line of scrimmage. And if you can get pressure on the quarterback, you're gonna have a bad time, playing against that if you can get pressure on the quarterback. I should rephrase what I'm trying to say. It's been a while since I've done this. Shoot me, but if you can get pressure on the quarterback, it's that offense is going to have a bad time. You need to be strong on the line of scrimmage. And I know this particular Georgia defensive line has, we haven't seen them truly dominate, take over a game yet. You can really go back the last 2 years and say that, but that's what this is all going to come to. I feel like that's going to be a common theme with a lot of these games this week. These big games are teams that have to win on the line of scrimmage, and that's how I feel going into this Georgia-Tennessee game is we haven't seen Tennessee be challenged yet. We haven't seen Aguilar be put in tough spots against a strong defense, and obviously that's going to happen against Georgia. And not saying this Georgia defense is going to be on the level of those Georgia defenses we've seen in years past. I mean, I guess we'll find out tomorrow, what they're really made of. But, yeah, Aguilar is going to have time to make it work, and Tennessee's going to have to establish the run game, which we've never seen pretty much anybody be able to do against Georgia in the last 4 or 5 years, and remains to be seen if that can happen. But just based off how these Tennessee Georgia matchups have gone in years past, I don't see it playing out in Tennessee's favor. But I mean, but Georgia has also not looked great in their first couple games. So I mean, but I don't know. They have a tendency to do that. That's why I'm not getting too worked up about what we've seen from Georgia so far, because they have a tendency to not really show up and against weaker competition, and then they know when they need to flip the switch. So I'll end my ramble and let you throw it to whoever's next.
Yeah, I'm going to go to our resident SEC guy, Jeffrey, and let him give his opinion on this one.
I mean, the way I see it, Georgia had a good showing against Marshall. They looked good. It's Marshall. I mean, they just lost the whole team to the portal. So if you're gonna hang 40, I think they had 45 in that game, and then they play Austin P. Big upset, Middle Tennessee, week prior, but still they only put 28 on them. I just think from a Kirby Smart team, I'd expect a little more. And I think the ESPN projection has Tennessee just narrowly edging them out. And I think the way Aguilar's been playing, I mean, against Syracuse, he looked good. I think personally, I'm taking Tennessee here. I think at home too in Knoxville. I think the Georgia offense never got solved this year. Still is the bane of their existence. Defense is going to be good, but they're just Gunnar Stockton's just not that good.
All right, so Jeffrey's on Tennessee. Travis has Georgia. Matt, what do you got?
So, quick question for the group. Would this be a discussion if this game were not at Neyland? Would everyone be like unanimously on Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think
So.
I think the general population, I think it would still be a discussion, because I mean, a lot of people were still picking Tennessee last year, and that game was at Georgia.
Yeah,
But
well,
as far as me, like, no, like if this game was between the hedges, no, I don't, like, that's gonna make a big difference here. Yes, to me, but I still think it'd be a discussion generally. I just don't know amongst us
Sure.
if it would. But
yeah, so I think this is one of those games that might be closer because Tennessee's at home. They're at Neyland. I've not been particularly impressed with either side. Georgia, I thought going into the season that nobody had upgraded any position group more than like the Notre Dame and Georgia receivers were upgraded from last year. So Zachariah Branch is a machine. Like he was supposed to have like superstardom at USC, finally got to Georgia. So the weapons around Gunnar Stockton are better this year than they were last year. I think Tennessee's year to beat them was probably last year. That was one of the more physical groups that they've had. They had the Dylan Sampson factor, and that was just a better team. I really like Star Thomas, the running back now for Tennessee. But yeah, if it gets to a point where it becomes like a really physical brick and mortar game, there's no way that Georgia's going to get beat by them. Like, I understand the governors of Austin P gave them their best shot. But I don't know. We see this all the time. These kind of, it shouldn't be a trap game, but it's the same as like New Mexico State with Auburn the 1 year, and they can't beat them, but then they nearly beat Bama. Is that too soon? Are we? I don't know
No,
if we're
it's
infringing
fine.
on. Yeah.
Fine.
But I'm not looking into those kind of results yet. But yeah, I would be. It's just usually this point in the season, I would be surprised if Kirby didn't have an already existing advantage over Josh Heupel coach team. And they got kind of moved by Syracuse. Like Syracuse went up and down the field way too easy on them. UConn should have beat Syracuse. It's been a point of discussion before amongst us, like whether UConn should have a football team. So, and then Fran Brown made them do like weird sprints after the game, like they were in high school or something. So
yeah, what performative shit was that? Like,
that was weird. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I am not really a huge fan of the Tennessee defense to this point, and yeah, I would just say that this should be a game that Georgia should win, and probably they're 2.5 now, or 3 or whatever line you might look at. But yeah, I will take Georgia relatively confidently. in that environment. So
Yeah, I mean, me and Travis were talking about this game last week when we were on the way out from the Auburn game. Like, we always see this. Georgia's like, they don't struggle, but they look more like, human against these smaller teams because they're doing running a very vanilla offense and just keeping things simple. And then when they have to, they just pour it on these bigger teams. And like, since Kirby Smart and Josh Heupel have both been at their respective programs, Kirby's owned Josh Heupel. He's 4-0 straight up. He's 4-0 against the spread. Why would I think this is going to be any different this time around? Like, I trust Georgia in this one. I think Georgia's going to win by double digits. I don't think this one's very close.
I mean,
well, it's an
the
interesting
thing
situation. Yeah. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
I was like, when you play like Tennessee does, and it's like you have to get the run game going for it to work, like I said, and like if you're not having like long possessions and like you're just constantly sending your defense back on the field, like and playing quick, like we know they like to do, um, like if you're doing that, like your defense is just going to. And this is a defense where we already have questions about the secondary with Tennessee, and it's like, can Tennessee get enough juice on offense to have these sustained drives that they're going to need to have to to keep up with Georgia? If they just keep sending an already weak defense, especially a weak secondary that we have questions about back on the field, versus a beefed up receiving core, I don't see what the path to Tennessee winning this game is if that happens, unless like this matchup is just going to have to go a completely different direction than we've seen in years past. And like I'm just not confident really when anybody's playing Georgia, but especially Tennessee, based off like what we've seen, that they're going to be able to like run the ball and protect the quarterback and have these sustained drives that they're going to need to have to compete in this game.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like Josh Heupel's got one of the cooler seats in college football. I feel there's not a ton of pressure on Tennessee. I feel. I mean, Josh Heupel won the offseason already because of how he handled the Nico stuff. So I feel like he has a ton of equity already built up with that fan base. So I don't think that the expectations for this one are particularly high. And the biggest question, we don't know how good Joey Aguilar is. We have no idea. Like they've played next to no one. So this will be the first semblance of a real defense that he's seen. So I'm just not comfortable taking that kind of player in that situation to beat the best defensive coach in college football right now. It's just I don't see it.
Well,
but like, do you trust Gunnar Stockton? Like, he hasn't really ever shown up big.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Like that's as long as he's not turning the ball over, which like I think like he's smart enough to like he's not going to be giving the ball away. I don't think Tennessee secondary is good enough to really be forcing those opportunities anyway. Yeah, so like he's going to take care of the football and he's going to take care of the football. I think the receivers are going to have opportunities with the tired defense. Like I don't think Gunnar Stockton has to come in and be Superman in this game. Like Joey Aguilar has to be Superman in this game for Tennessee to win. I don't
Probably
think
going to have to put up at least 27. Minimum.
I don't think Gunnar
win.
Stockton needs to be Superman for Georgia to win this game. And
No,
that's going to be the case for most of Georgia games this year.
Yeah, if Stockton, even if he's a net neutral for Georgia, Georgia still has a very high chance of winning and winning by double digits. Like, and then let's say Stockton has a great game, then Georgia probably wins by 20. Like, why are we not excluding that? Like, Tennessee's defense has not been impressive all year, and I think Stockton is smart enough to make plays and make it with the receivers around him. He can look elite. Like for this 1 week with Tennessee's defense, how bad it's been. Am I wrong to say that?
No, it's easier this year in the sense. So first of all, Stockton had that playoff start already under his belt, where he had no help. He had really no help in that game. He had the pretty rough turnover that Notre Dame forced him and scored on the next play. And they were outmanned that game. But so he's seen better than what Tennessee's about to throw at him. They can keep it pretty simple. Like the average depth of target for Gunnar Stockton should not be a ton. They have guys that they can get Zachary Branch the ball anywhere on the field. It's just I don't think, and Mike Bobo is not exactly the most innovative offensive mind that we know of. So I don't think it's going to be really complicated. It's probably going to be pretty simplified, just pretty generic. Manage the game, just don't fuck it up. Rather, so that's how I see it.
And that's how it has been since like Kirby's been at Georgia. The offenses have never been really like super complex and complicated offensive schemes, like because of the quarterbacks they've had, and also with the supporting cast they've always had, and defense being like a Kirby Smart staple in how he wants his team to be operated. They've never had to have these like super complex offenses. It's been a lot of run heavy play action off that. And I think Gunnar Stockton is pretty good enough to do that, especially against this Tennessee defense, which we all know is not very good.
Yeah, the challenges for Georgia offensively, I feel like, are coming. It's just probably not going to be
I don't think it's yet.
Tennessee. Yeah.
I think the first test they'll probably have is like not to get look too far down the road. It's probably against Auburn, like on the road. That might be the first one where it's like they may have to, call a little bit more of like a complicated offense than just, okay, we're going to dink and duck around the field and run the ball on you.
Yeah, I mean they'll have a few of them. I mean, if assuming like Bama's still stacked on defense, if they ever figure it out, it's going to be a tough secondary to throw on, and they play Texas, and Auburn. So yeah, they have tougher games ahead of them. But just don't think the defensive resistance will be there a ton tomorrow. Could be wrong, but I don't see it personally.
Yeah,
Indiana made sure to add one more touchdown.
Indiana covered the over on their own for whatever reason, and Sig's going to go to the playoff committee and be like, see, like, we dominated our non-conference. So,
yeah, 73-0. Google me.
Yeah, we played a rivalry game. Yeah. The Larry Bird Bowl. Yeah. Whatever they're going to call it. Yeah.
Jeez, 73-0. Good Lord.
Get him to Bama if Kalen gets shit canned. Yeah, get him that job.
That would be my nightmare. Please don't let that happen. No, absolutely not.
Be great content, but yeah.
Yeah, no, the Auburn guy in me would hate it. Can't have that. Because I like him too a little bit. Like, he's one of those coaches I like.
I don't.
I think
like Kurt Signetti? Like, define like. Like, I think he's a phenomenal coach. Like, I think he's, like, hands down one of the best 15 coaches in the country. Do I like him? Do I think he's, like, full of shit half the time he talks? Like, perhaps. Like, he talks like a WWE promoter or something. Like,
I think he's a good football coach, and he's entertaining. Like, he's going to say something stupid or say something in general that's going to, like, get like a reaction out of people, and I like that aspect of him. I may not like him like as a person, if that made sense.
Did Sig himself get the SEC to go to 9 conference games?
Yeah, essentially. He did on his own. Like he basically held like Greg Byrne at gunpoint, and Sankey and the rest of the SEC to change this.
We got Jacob in the house.
Sure. All right. Does anybody else have anything to say about that Georgia game?
I mean, are we like doing our official picks? Like, I guess, like.
Yeah, let's do our official picks real quick. Travis, you want to start with us again?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take Georgia. They'll cover the number. They'll win pretty easily. I don't know. What do you want? You want like a score? Just win, cover? Like what?
You can just say that. If you want to give a score, y'all can. But you can just say win and cover if you want as well. It's up to you.
Well, I think Georgia wins and covers. If I had to throw a score out here, I guess I'll say 30-16.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, Jeffrey, you're picking Tennessee, so
I'm still riding with Tennessee, so obviously they cover them. I think Tennessee, like 27-24.
Okay. Matt?
I will take Georgia 27-17.
Okay. I'm going to go Georgia 31, Tennessee 20. I like that one. All right, next one, Clemson, Georgia Tech. And I'll start us off.
I see you flipped from earlier in the week when me and you were talking about this, by the way.
Yeah, you definitely swayed me on that. Just like I was worried about how Georgia did look in these first few weeks against these like smaller teams, but then you brought up a good point about how they always do this, and then they're going to play some bigger school and then look like their old selves. Like you're 1,000% right. So yeah, I definitely pivoted for sure.
Fair enough.
But anyway, next game, Clemson at Georgia Tech. Clemson, it opened at a 6.5 point favorite. Now they're down to 2.5. The total's at 51.5. And before we get into this one, it got announced that 3 starters for Clemson are going to be out. Leading receiver Antonio Williams, safety Khalil Barnes, and their starting left tackle Tristan Lee. Juve, do you want to start us with this one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Clemson struggled, to say the least, against Troy. I mean, Dabo got them out of that, but being down 16-0 at home against Sunbelt team is just kind of embarrassing. Especially when you have people, even myself, who bought into all the offseason hype, saying Klubnik's the guy, his team could go to the Natty, win the ACC. I still think they'll beat Georgia Tech because I don't think Georgia Tech. I'm not riding that that Haynes King hype wave. I think he's a good player, but I mean, people are all over him that he's an elite player in the ACC. I think he's up there, but towards the bottom half of that tier. I still think Clemson wins this comfortably by a touchdown, probably like a 27-20 type of game.
Matt, what you got for us?
Wow. Well, so if for those of you who don't know, Juve hates Haynes King because in a game of NCAA football, when I was using Haynes King, he fumbled the ball 8 times. So he thinks Haynes King is a bum because of that. Yes, I only ran like QB
were you
power
like
the whole
user
game.
like stripping, or was this just like?
It was a mess. But be that as it may, so you said it's like 27-20. I can Clemson get to 27 points is the
Yeah.
first like question we have here. That is a major issue that they've had thus far. Georgia Tech is a sneaky good road environment. That's a tough one, or home environment rather, but it's a tough place to play. And this is the best Georgia Tech team that they've had in years. I mean, last year Haynes King should have beaten Georgia on his own. Pretty much Kirby got the rule change that you can't call like that timeouts and overtime rule, because every time Haynes King lined up, he just called a timeout.
Are they still switching sides every time?
I actually don't know. That's a good question, but
I
that
think so.
would be kind of ridiculous. No, so I do think Clemson wins narrowly, but I don't think that this should be like dismissed. I think Georgia Tech will keep it really close. I think they will probably lose by a field goal, so they cover 3.5 if you got that anywhere. But yeah, like Georgia Tech is a like big team. Like the key to like kind of holding your own against Clemson in the Dabo Swinney era has been like how good are you up front? Do you have men like in the trenches? Because the only teams to beat them last year were all like,
Syracuse is going to be running sprints again
yeah,
after this
yeah,
game.
they are, yeah, yeah. Get
Jesus
ready to
Christ.
learn 4 and 8, buddy. Yeah, they're screwed.
Jesus Christ.
But no, yeah, Georgia Tech is huge up front. Last year, by Georgia, got beat by Texas. They got beat by South Carolina, all of which who had dudes up front. Georgia Tech is stacked with dudes. Love Buster Faulkner, one of my favorite assistants in the country, running the Georgia Tech offense. But they have a good line, like offensive, defensive line, both sides. So they'll be in the game. Like they will hang. Haynes King will make a few plays on his own to keep them in the game. But if they can keep that relatively low scoring, they have a chance because the Clemson offense has yet to really take off and figure it out and find a way to get like Wesco the ball especially. But yeah, it's been a struggle for them. So I mean LSU, great defense, but you see Troy, like what I don't know what the excuse is there. Troy's not a bad team per se, but a team that Clemson should be really taking it to. So yeah, I think that this will be a popular kind of upset pick because Georgia Tech is probably headed for like 9-3, 10-2 territory. this year. So if they win, then they probably enter.
All right, Matt's frozen.
Yeah. All right,
While we're like,
For,
oh, there he is. He's back. Hold on. Okay, well, while he gets that figured out, this Colorado quarterback. I don't even know who this kid is that they started tonight. Did you just see that throw?
No, I wasn't looking. Was it good?
Oh my God, one of the worst. Oh my, that's back to back. This kid sucks.
yeah, Houston's probably going to beat him. 3-0 start for Willie Fritz. Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry, Matt. Were
speaking
you
of
done?
Colorado,
No, I was
they
done.
played
Yeah,
Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech still had 20 put on them by what is a terrible offense of Colorado. They're not really that good, and Georgia Tech still let up 20. Colorado arguably should have won that game. Deion's clock management is just subpar.
Yeah, I
I
just
think
think it's one of those things like Clemson is yet to do it. They've yet to have a decent, like, they haven't had a good offensive game really since that Texas game last year. So that was the last really good game that Klubnik played. So,
Trav, you want to give us your thoughts on Georgia
I
Tech?
I don't really have a good read on Clemson, Georgia Tech either way. Like, Clemson has looked terrible. And I haven't watched Georgia Tech play yet this year, so I mean, I don't know what we're working with them, but I mean, I like Juve alluded to, like they kind of got pushed around by not a good Colorado team as we're watching tonight, and so yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, like I don't have a great read on this game. Like I said, like part of that's on me because I really haven't watched Georgia Tech play. And yeah, I don't know what Clemson. I don't know what Clemson is. I don't know what their identity on offense is right now because
There's not one.
I bought into Klubnik a couple years ago. Based off what I've seen the couple years since then, I'm not buying into what I've seen from him. So I don't know. It's like is the real Clemson going to show up tomorrow, and is Klubnik going to show up and throw it around the field and be like, "This is Clemson team we expected them to be"? If that's the case, Clemson probably wins easily. If the Clemson we've seen the last couple weeks shows up, particularly against Troy, because I mean, versus LSU, I mean, like Clemson was in that game, like they weren't terrible in that game. Like LSU's obviously got a really good defense this year, which is nice for a change, I'm sure, for LSU fans.
shout out Bryce
So
Underwood. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what and that's what I'm saying is like I don't like this is like it's going to be a test for Clemson tomorrow to be like are they the team we saw versus Troy? We know the defense is going to be good with Clemson. I don't really have much questions about them on that side of the ball, but are they going to be able to get anything going on offense? If they can't, then yeah, Georgia Tech probably wins this thing outright. If they can, um, then yeah, we'll be like okay, like this is what we expected Clemson to be. So yeah, like I don't have like a particularly great read or strong lean one way or another on that game. I guess if I had to pick one, like I think the Clemson defense has been good enough. I'm mainly basing that off what I saw versus LSU. It's hard to judge that when against Troy, but based off what they showed versus LSU, like I'll lean Clemson in an ugly one tomorrow. But I don't know. I really don't know. Like yeah, I don't have a strong. This is definitely one I will not be betting. If I do anything, it'll probably be the under. I don't know what that's at, but yeah, I don't have a strong lean one way or another on that game.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with this one. Like, I really don't know which way this is going to go because Clemson has the talent to flip that switch and blow Georgia Tech out of the water. But the team we've seen the past 2 weeks just hasn't been that. So I guess I'm going to go with what I think is the better coaching staff and defense. I'm going to lean Clemson. But if I turn on my TV tomorrow and Georgia Tech is winning by a touchdown and ends up winning the entire game, I wouldn't be surprised. Like this Clemson team's not been very inspiring. Has been super disappointing relative to the the offseason hype they had of does Dabo is this Dabo's best team since the Trevor Lawrence days, whatever you want to go back to, and are they a real national title threat? Which I thought they were. Like hand up, I picked them to win the Natty. They were my national title winners, and Cade Klubnik was my Heisman pick. So that obviously doesn't look very good going into this, but. Yeah, I guess I lean Clemson. Really don't have a great feel on this one either. Anybody have any, final thoughts on this game?
Not on that game, but I threw down Lobos money line tonight. I think we're gonna meet. New Mexico's a good team. Like based off how bad that UCLA's been on offense, like if New Mexico can do one thing, like they get the ball down the field and they can score on anybody. So like
they're a big
Nico,
underdog too, aren't they?
Yeah, it's plus 500 money line. They're 16-point underdogs, but like, yeah, like you better show up and like be ready to score if you're gonna beat New Mexico. And yeah, I just threw down that money line. Sorry to change subjects on the games, but I just did that. I figured I'd mention it.
No, I'm glad you did because that reminded me to take New Mexico plus 16. I had that wrote down, but I forgot. So that just reminded me to take them right now. I'm glad
you guys on the Lobos tonight too.
Yeah.
Big time.
I'm taking
not
the
big
Lobos.
time, I guess, but yeah.
What'd you say, Matt?
So we're on the Lobos. I said big time, but it's not actually big time on the Lobos. So,
Joof, what do you think?
I'll take the Lobos. I mean, Utah dogged them, so.
Okay.
I mean, that UCLA team just got ran. They're not good. They're all over the place. And
they're better than they were last year. I will give them a slight amount of credit. They are better than they were a year ago. So there's some steady improvement in the Deshaun Foster era of UCLA football. But yeah.
Does he make it through the end of the year or is he fired?
He'll probably get through the season. I would be surprised if one, it's not a really attractive job. So I don't think firing him halfway through the year, if they're like 1-6 or something, is gonna do very much. But they'll win a few games. I mean, people forget like Nico's not a total bum. So they'll score.
Are we sure about
he's
that?
not into total bum status. He sucks,
I think if he loses this one, he goes total bum.
Yeah, if he loses tonight, he's done, dude. Him and Big Nico, his dad, are clowns if they lose tonight.
Foster was an opening press conference guy for me. Where like after his opening press conference,
rough. Yeah.
I was out.
They look like they just like asked him like, "Can you please do this job? Like, can you please just do this?" And he was like, "Fine, okay, I'll do it." And then he had like nothing. And the way they set up the Big Ten Media Days was so ridiculous. It was like an on-stage event. They had walkouts and everything for the coaches, and he's just there like, "Well, what can I tell you guys about us?" Yeah, that was embarrassing. They're putting good money into basketball, though. Speaking of New Mexico, they got Donovan Dent over there, so they're putting money somewhere.
Oh, this would be a great matchup if it was on a basketball court. I'd be so much more excited about this game, the basketball version of it. So did we make picks for Georgia Tech Clemson? Like,
yeah, we'll go through and officially do them. I said Clemson in a close one. I'm going to go Clemson 21, Georgia Tech 17.
I'm sticking my original Clemson 27 and Georgia Tech 20, something like that.
Trav, what you got?
Clemson 17, Georgia Tech 14.
I'm going to go Clemson 22-20 in overtime.
Who wins?
I got Clemson.
How many overtimes would that be? Is that 2, assuming we get to like
It'd have to at least be 3.
2-point awfulness. Hey, like that one last year, that Georgia Tech game where like Joe Tessitore was like basically like demanding Georgia get in, like win, lose or draw. He was like, "They're in, folks. It's happening." And thank goodness for them, they won because I was like, "Are they in? Are we sure?" But yeah. So I'm hoping for overtimes there. That'd be fun. So
Tess has some interesting moments. I still love Tess, like week 1 this year,
he's
like the
great. Yeah,
unbuttoned shirt and the
he's
chain.
amazing. Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was
somebody got in his
hilarious.
ear.
Like,
Somebody got in his ear. It was like, "Hey, button that up," because
I
like
was
then
just
you
about to
think you're
say,
gonna,
like, he comes back on, he has like it all buttoned up and stuff. Then that was
Yeah,
so
be like, this
hilarious.
isn't Miami Vice Test. Let's go. Yeah.
Uh,
Shout
speaking
out
of
Test.
Miami, though, we got the next game, USF at Miami. USF coming off the big upset against Florida. Miami is a 17.5-point favorite. The total's 56.5. Boys, who wants to start off of that one? Am I got an opinion on that one?
I do. I'll start it off. Like, I think actually, I feel pretty strongly about this one because like when the line first came out, I was like, oh, like they're giving USF 17, 18 again, whatever. Like, and then like the more I've gone through this week, I'm like, Florida, basically, like that. Florida had so many opportunities to put USF away last week, and just handed that game to USF on a silver platter.
Yeah.
They spat it out, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, yeah. Florida vomited all over themselves enough to hand that game to USF, and I think Miami's a much better team than Florida. I mean, well, they play next week, so we'll find out. But which I love, like the round robin we're getting in 3 weeks with like USF, Miami, and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's quite the interesting the way the schedule worked out with that. But yeah, I think Miami's going to roll here. I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes that Florida did. I think they're a lot better on offense than Florida is. Because yeah, like Florida's just a mess on offense. They're not coached well. Like there's nothing about that Florida team that inspires you. And but it was a great win to go on the road for USF and stay in that. Because I mean, Florida does have the talent that they should have ran USF out of the building, and they had plenty of opportunities to do it and couldn't put them away. But yeah, like I think I think Miami's gonna roll here.
Yeah.
I think that's a good take. I mean, Napier's on the hot seat. He's probably gone after this
He's-
year.
It's over.
He's burned
He's
already.
probably in the fire pit at this point. I mean, he's wasting DJ's career. If I was DJ, I'd hit the portal after this season.
I just don't think DJ's that good. But
Yeah. Can we talk about that? Like, he
I
might
think
be the most
DJ's good.
overrated quarterback in college football.
That's Lenora Sellers through and through.
I don't know.
all right,
I think DJ's better than Lenoris.
I don't agree with that at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I think you give DJ a much better team. I think he hits the portal, and I think Napier are fired. But
And then he'll
I
get
mean,
hurt
USF's
somewhere else
the-
too. Oh shit! Oh
I mean,
man,
USF's a
Mexico almost
solid
blew it up,
team.
like second play of the game.
But I think they can cover at least at minimum the whatever the spreads are right now.
It's at
Yeah.
17.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should. I think they at minimum can cover that. I don't think they're going to go out there and win, but they're not going to not cover. 17.5 is pretty generous.
Matt,
Yeah, for starters, gotta give USF its due for everything
Good
they've
win.
done. Just trouncing Boise State and winning at the Swamp. It's a hell of a 2-game start. Really love Alex Golish, head coach. He's awesome. He's got some awesome handshake drama at the end of games there. He's the best. So he'll get a bag from someone, I'm sure, in the future.
I was just about to say, he's the next guy, right?
Yeah,
Florida.
he's in the discussion. Like him, Buster Faulkner. There are a few other guys who Ben Arbuckle from Oklahoma, their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Golis should have went and like checked out Billy's office while he was there last weekend.
Yeah,
and,
he should have.
figured
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
where
he
was
feels
gonna
like
be.
he feels like the front runner for that job.
Yeah. They USF somehow has like pretty deep NIL pockets, so I don't know if they can pay him to stay in any way. But yeah, they won at the Swamp. They like Florida should have beat them for sure. They made some
Yeah.
horribly stupid mistakes, but they still hung around and beat them. I do not think that is going to be the case when they play Miami. Miami actually, they're just too good up front. This is like Mario's dream to build like just Miami like completely threw around and just moved Notre Dame wherever they wanted to go. Notre Dame had to make multiple subs on their O-line because they couldn't handle the Miami D-line. Miami's strong in the offensive line. So I think the USF story is cool. I think they're still like in the lead for Group of 5 to make a playoff spot. Byron Brown is getting a lot of Heisman hype. But Miami's probably going to shut everything down on the ground and dare him to beat him through the air, which I don't know if that's going to be his strong suit against them. So, yeah, this should be like Miami comfortably. They should be able to run this up. I just don't see a path for USF to really like score on them or really get them off the field on defense. But we'll see. That's why they play the games, and they'll certainly be in well-coached spots to be able to steal some points and possessions. But yeah, Miami's just better. They're just simply the better team. They're the more athletic team, the bigger team. So
And they're
no
not going to be able
Cinderellas
to muddy
in
it
there.
up against Miami like they did to Florida.
No, they're too good. Yeah, the D-line's too good. So yeah. It's just, I don't see that happening. So, yeah, I have Miami probably covering the 17 and a half, I would say.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off like what both y'all said, like whenever I saw this line initially and I was like 17 and a half after they just upset Florida, like it's a lot of points. Like my gut said USF early, but like the more I thought about it, Florida did everything they could to lose that game, and USF only won on the last second field goal. Miami is a much more talented team, a better coaching staff than Florida. It's in Miami. Like I think Miami wins this one comfortably. Just better athletes, better coaching staff, and USF's still going to be in the front running. Like for that Group of 5 team to make the playoff. Like this won't change my opinion on them if they make the playoff or not. But Miami's just better. Like Miami's one of the best 5 teams in the nation right now.
I gotta use the bathroom, but I'm gonna step out for a second. But yeah, go ahead, Miami big.
Yeah, I think Miami wins this one probably. Score prediction, I'm going to go Miami 42, USF 21. I think Miami or USF might make it interesting for the first quarter, even the first half, but Miami will eventually just pull away.
Yeah, if USF were playing against Tennessee or Indiana, I would probably be more inclined to say they had a chance, but yeah, I would say Miami takes them 38-13 or something, that kind of game. Just kind of run out of gas when Miami kind of steps on their throat, and probably around third or fourth quarter when they're tiring them out.
Even if this is a blowout, I'm still a believer in Alex Golis if he gets to the right program that has the right pockets, because he's doing this at USF. Like you said though, Matt, has surprisingly deep pockets, but not like these other huge programs do.
Not like Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If Alex Golis goes to Florida, and this isn't a Brian Harsin situation where he's just not cut out for the SEC or something, then he's going to be an awesome coach, one of the next great ones. We see at Florida, I feel like he has that potential.
Yeah, agreed.
You got anything else, Juve?
Not really. I mean, it kind of, this game in terms of the hype around USF is kind of reminding me about Colorado 2 years ago.
Against Oregon?
Yeah, kind of where it's not the same thing because they're different cultures, but it's you get a team, they get 2 big upsets, builds a lot of momentum and hype, and then they play a real team. But I think they'll still cover the 17 and a half. I mean, that's a large margin. That's 3 scores. I think they can still cover that. But yeah, Miami stood show. I still fully think Miami's going to win by like a minimum like 10, 14. I think it'll probably be like
If that
Miami.
game is within 10 points, they should build the goalish statue now.
I'm about to say,
Just
like,
what they can do to keep him. Like,
I mean,
I just
if this is a single digit game, yeah, they need to like scrum up every penny they can find on that campus to
yeah.
keep him around as long as he wants. Because this has every reason, like this should be a blowout. It just should be. Like, but yeah, I think that's all we got for that one. If y'all have anything else y'all want to add.
No.
Moving on to the next game, the team that USF beat, Florida at number 3 LSU. Is this the last game we see Billy Napier in a Florida on the Florida sideline?
I 100% think so. He built the hype to kind of like, hey, give me another year, drops to the USF at home. And then I think if USF also gets just blown out by Miami, like Miami
Just the
wins
look of it.
21, it's like what are we doing? I mean, that's another in-state team. I think LSU also with Nuss. I think they're gonna dominate them. I think yeah, he's probably fired this week or maybe if not that week, the week after.
See, Nuss is arguably the best. Like, he's probably arguably been the best quarterback in college football this year. Like, him and John Mateer have probably been 1A, 1B in my opinion. But still, I feel like the talk of this team for LSU is the defense. Like, how
The Russo
surprisingly good
brothers.
it's been. Like, I had questions about it going into this, but it's been awesome. It's been an incredible unit. And, like, I was looking up on this game and, like, I lean the under on this one. Like, I love the under on this one. I don't think Florida's gonna be able to move the ball very much against this LSU defense. I think this is gonna be like, I think Florida's quit. I don't think this is gonna be like, I think this is just an under game. I don't think the Florida offense is able to move the ball on that defense. I love the under in this one. Love it.
Yeah, it's a fair bet to say. Like, I don't think, as for your question on Billy, I don't think they'll fire him after this game. Last year, it looked like he was going to be on the way out before the end of the season, and then they ripped off the second half that they did to, save his job. DJ's
So
not
fire him
100%.
now.
Well,
Fire him now. Don't
that's
give
the
him the
issue.
chance to
Like,
do that again.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of the issue they run into, where, they had that stretch last year where they were playing really, really good football. But then, of course, the questions are asked, like, why can't we do that now? I mean, it's not going to get easier. Like, it's really is no rest on the schedule. Like, they have Miami the next week. And then they start getting into conference play where, they're doomed. So I don't know. It's a tough call to make. It's one of those, like, if you're really passionate about it, I don't know why you brought them back last year kind of thing. But no, I mean, they're gonna lose. I think they're gonna lose in that game tomorrow. I think you're correct. I don't think they're going to move the ball very effectively on the LSU defense, and I think LSU will probably only need like 17 points to win on them. And they're probably going to get more. So, yeah, those games have always been really fun over the years, the LSU Florida games. So I think that there'll be like some pride involved for Florida maybe to get to around 10 and a half there to that number. But
Over
no,
under half shoes thrown.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Over.
mean, they've already wasted all their stupid mistakes. Like, they already had the spitting incident, and then like who knows what's remaining for them to do. And they always make these mistakes at home. They like that game against LSU was at the Swamp where Marco Wilson threw the shoe. Gosh, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't foresee this being it'll be like maybe like a game where it's 10-6 in the second quarter here. Florida's in this game, and then like it's 24-6 at halftime or so. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, this should not be a like huge struggle for LSU tomorrow.
No.
And that's the thing. If you go like just talent wise, like this should be like a close game, but it's
Yeah, it
two
should. Yeah,
teams that feel like they're
100%.
going in opposite directions. But through 2 weeks, like the only thing I will say about Florida is like LSU's offense has not been good either of the first 2 weeks. Like they were they scored 17 against Clemson and what 20 against Louisiana Tech
They did
last
not
week.
look good against. Yeah,
No.
so
They
they
only put
were
up
rough.
23.
23. Yeah,
It
like
Yeah.
was one of those where they didn't really open up the playbook a ton. Yeah, I mean, Clemson, and I just thought it was like, well, Clemson is just a really good team here. There's some really good quarterbacking by Nuss in that game, but yeah, overall, the offense has not, they've kind of yet to hit their expected, peak that they were supposed to be at. So we'll see. I mean, they run the ball significantly better than what they did last year. So tomorrow, that USF kind of bullied them up front last week. So that could be an area they can finally try and get a run game going, get some more balance on the offense, and see what they can do. But overall, like it's just they don't have the profile of a team that should give LSU problems, at least on the offense for them. So we'll see.
I think Florida can muddy this thing up. Like just because
Sure.
we haven't been impressed with the LSU offense either. And obviously like Florida's really good. They got talent on defense. Like this is another game, and I said it earlier, like I feel this way about a lot of the games tomorrow, frankly. Is I think like a lot of these big matchups tomorrow like have the layout to be like a really ugly under type game. Like I feel that way about Georgia Tech, Clemson, this one, um,
Penn
Texas
State,
A&M, Notre
Villanova.
Dame. Would you say?
Yeah.
Penn State, Villanova.
Oh yeah, like I mean I feel this one falls right into that category though, where it's like you have two offenses that have not looked good through 2 games this year with a ton of talent on defense. Um, So I mean, like, do we think, like, do you feel confident that the LSU offense has their breakout against Florida, like a really
Uh,
talented defense,
it's hard to
nevertheless?
say. I mean, if they can, keep the Florida off, if they can have the ball for like 40 minutes or something, then maybe. But it's kind of like I could see it going like when LSU played Auburn in 2019 and the game was close-ish. It didn't feel like really close at the time, but like Auburn didn't really have the greatest offense known to man, and like Derek Brown was just a cyborg on defense, and they couldn't block him for anything.
I mean,
But
Auburn
yeah,
should have won that game if Bo
sure,
Nix doesn't
yeah,
throw 2 picks in the third quarter.
I
Like,
mean, that game was 23-20 with 2
yeah, yeah.
receptions by
So
Bo
like,
Nix.
I could see it being like that kind of a game. Like you look up and you're like, wow, this game's actually pretty close, because the talent on both sides is there. So yeah, I could. I mean, the only outcome that would like surprise me is like Florida beating them like by 15 or something. Is like, oh, it's 35-20. Like Florida just really opened it up today, and were we all wrong? But yeah, I could see that being close. Just the talent alone, I could see that being a close game.
look at the logo; it's just walking down the field.
I was about to say, we got to mention that real quick. New Mexico is
Yeah.
moving the ball with ease.
I mean, I freaked out that first drive where they ran the trick play, and I mean, like if that throws, I mean, it's slightly off target enough for the DB to get in there and break it up, and then still had a chance to go get it on the deflection. Like,
Yeah.
So
The money line's already
oh
down to
my
plus
goodness,
280.
that Colgate kicking a field
49
goal for
yarder.
some reason, like that wasn't even close.
Not at all.
Sorry. Yeah, no, we got live games on right now, so I'm gonna be reacting to these as we're
Yeah.
talking about. But I mean, I do think that this game is probably gonna get muddy enough tomorrow that like I like Florida to cover. Like it's 7.5 now, I think.
6.5, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this thing can kind of be like ugly, muddy enough that like I think it'll be one of those games where it's like Matt saying, like I don't think the outcome will ever necessarily be in doubt, But why is Syracuse still running it? Like, but I don't think the outcome will ever be in doubt. But I think LSU will be able to keep them at arm's length, but Florida will be able to like hang around enough. And I don't see that LSU offense having their big breakout tomorrow. So I mean, I do like Florida to cover.
You got to hold your nose on that one. I don't know if I could bet Florida to cover.
I don't know if I'll bet
right
it, but
now.
like if I had to pick a side, like I think I'd take Florida to cover.
So you think LSU wins, Florida covers?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and make our pitch for these. Matt, what you got? Score prediction.
I will go LSU wins 24-13.
Okay. Jeffrey?
I think LSU wins 20-10.
All right. Travis?
20-13 LSU.
Well, they wouldn't cover 6.5.
I thought 7.5.
I think it's 6.5 right now.
Oh, well, they'll be right around cover range.
Okay. I'm gonna go LSU 17, Florida 10. I think it's gonna be in that range like that. I think this is a super low scoring game. I don't trust either offenses. LSU's defense has been super on fire these past 2 weeks. I think it's a low scoring game that LSU covers and wins.
I think Nuss needs to put on a performance, or he needs to stop getting talked about for Heisman. I mean, his week 1 was great. Beat Clemson on the road last week. Underwhelming. Now you're getting the SEC play. This is your bread and butter. He's got to at least put on, I'd say, he needs at least 200 yards or at minimum a passing TD this game. Probably to keep him in the Heisman contention, in my opinion. Because he's just been average or sub-average for what he could be.
Matt,
you know what they say: Heisman's are won in September. Yep.
Matt, I see your face. I thought you have an opinion on this. Let's hear it.
This just is never how Heisman's are decided. It's just they are never decided. Leonard Fournette would have won that Heisman his year after he ran down Auburn. These races are. Yeah, like these races are never decided in September.
Never forget, like September 2012, Geno Smith. He was like leading off Sports Center. He was throwing 8 touchdowns a game, and then West Virginia fell off the wagon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only person I've like ever seen who's like Kenny Hill, almost like after he won.
Kenny Thrill.
Yeah. But yeah, like RG3 is like I think the only one that was like start to finish. He and Jameis Winston were the only ones that I can remember where they're like, yeah, that was Heisman worthy, and then they just continued it the rest of the season. So
Joe Burrow,
I guess so. I still like that was such a stacked season. Like I think Joe probably like had it by the time that Bama game happened, and then after the Bama game, I think everyone was like in unanimous agreement that he was the guy. But
speaking of Heisman's, did you guys happen to catch Nick Saban's comments earlier today on Pat McAfee's show?
No.
So Derrick Henry ran for I think 100,000 yards in high school, something like that. Nick Saban said today, "Oh, we were the only school that recruited him as a running back. Nobody else said he could play running back."
Yeah.
What? Like
he did say that, yes. And the most fun fact that you can find about Derrick Henry is that he's played 10 years in the NFL and he is still not rushed for his high school career total.
Jeez.
He was committed to Georgia
for like
as
his
a running
senior
back.
year. Yeah, like he was going to Georgia, but like his senior year alone, I don't know if he's still like run for that, but I don't know. But yeah,
Nick Saban will
crazy.
make just the most ridiculous, narcissistic comments sometimes where I'm just like, what are you talking about? We were the only people. Like, he ran for, like I said, 100,000 yards in high school. Like, and something insane. And he's like, yeah, we're the only ones who wanted him as a running back. Okay, Nick. Like, whatever. Like,
Pat's just like, wow. Yeah, like Amazing. Yeah, Joof. Travis hates Nick Saban more than you hate anyone, probably. So it's a
I believe it.
fun times. Yeah.
I mean, post career, it's like I try to give him like the benefit of the doubt. Like I do like listening to him on it, but then he'll make comments like that today, and I'm just like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, or earlier this week, he's like, oh, all these Big Ten schools have more money now. It's not fair anymore. Like, what? You're not the only school who can pay players anymore, so it's not fair now. No, they were joking about that on Pardon My Take. They were like, what if Nick Saban just like took over like a Big Ten school? He's like, well, that's where the money is.
The Nets UCLA head coach,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Saban.
Nah, Nick Saban go right to Purdue.
Can
Take
you
the
imagine
Boilermakers.
Jacob's reaction if Purdue hired Nick Saban?
Oh my god.
Would
Yeah.
be unbearable. Just couldn't have it happen, dude.
Well, the best question for Jacob in that situation would be like, who is the best coach at Purdue University?
Matt
Nick
Painter.
Saban or Matt Painter? I don't
Let's
know
say
who
Matt
he would
Painter.
say. Yeah.
Don't know what his answer would be.
I think we know the answer.
Yeah, he'd be like, well, Matt Painter's definitely the more like ethical coach for sure. He plays by the rules way more.
But yeah, Nick Saban made Derrick Henry a running back. Just don't forget it.
Breaking news.
Who
Yeah.
knew?
Shocking.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all got anything else to add on that game? We good?
Yeah.
Heisman's are won in September.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down.
As they
Hey,
said.
Sawyer Robertson keeps this up. He's gonna pass Joe Burrow's passing numbers.
I'm sure he will. Mhm.
He's not playing more than the first quarter this weekend.
Mm.
It reminds me of I was watching a show earlier this week, and they're like, Emeka Egbuka's on pace for 36 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep, that's gonna hold.
Yep. He's going to do that for sure. That's going to happen. Oh, gosh. All right. Next game. Number 16, Texas A&M. Number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's currently a 6.5 point favorite. The total's at 50.5. Game's at 6:30 p.m. All right, Joof, you start us off with this one. Texas A&M at Notre Dame.
I think Notre Dame comes in A&M comes in and returns the favor of what Notre Dame did to them at Kyle Field last year. I think it's going to be a gritty win. I think Elko will get his boys right. I think they win on the road.
So you like A&M in this one? They pull off the
I
upset.
do.
Any reason?
I think
why?
I just was underwhelmed by the quarterback play by Notre Dame against Miami, another big team. I mean, A&M is pretty big, all things considered. Not as good as Miami, though. But, I mean, one thing I just don't get during that whole broadcast was the glazing of Riley Leonard. I always thought Riley Leonard was he was good, but they were kind of talking to him as some, like, legendary dual threat talent, like a Kevin Jennings, or I'll glaze him, Jackson Arnold this year.
Kevin Jennings. That's what everybody thinks dual threat quarterback. Their first thought
Yeah.
Kevin Jennings.
I thought he was going to say Cam Newton, but that man said Kevin
Yeah.
Jennings.
Like a Kevin
Legendary.
Jennings.
Yeah.
Golly.
Tebow, Newton, Jennings.
You know he said Kevin Jennings just because Baylor just beat them. You know
Hey,
that-
I was at that
Yeah.
game. I just saw Kevin Jennings run. Actually, we held him, but I mean,
Mhm.
our secondary was giving him everything downfield. He didn't really need to run much, but I just don't think this is going to be an off year for the Freeman boys in South Bend.
So you're out on CJ Carr.
I am.
Seen enough.
Dang.
I think they switched. I forget the name of their other guy. What was it? Their other quarterback. Because wasn't CJ Carr? Wasn't that a battle till pretty much preseason?
Yeah, it was Matt. Do you remember the name? I'm blanking.
Steve Angeli went to
Yes.
Syracuse, so
Yeah,
he's
he's
at
a-
Syracuse now.
Oh, then never
Hey,
mind.
he played tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, CJ Carr. I mean, he'll have the job all year, but I think they're on track for a nice 9-3, and somehow will find their way into the playoff. Somehow.
At 9-3?
I mean,
who's their big win? Like,
just
I
without
mean,
his,
you're 10-2,
I think they can
but
still make it at 9-3. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Matt, you seem opinionated on this one. Let's
Wow.
hear it.
So many things to unpack.
Yeah,
With
let's get into it. Let's start.
Jackson, Newton, Tebow,
Jake Marshall, baby.
Wow. So
Mansell.
I don't think it's possible for them to glaze Riley Leonard as much as you just glazed Kevin Jennings. Weren't you at the game at Penn State where look at this. Yeah. You know what they say. Yeah.
I saw him at Penn State. That was a good Penn State defense, but
he threw like
he threw 3 picks that game. He was terrible throwing it, but he's fast dude, and he is not afraid to scramble.
Well, yeah. So for all
one of the all-time dual threat quarterbacks,
he is a dual threat quarterback of all time. That
Hey,
is for sure.
Nick Saban loves Kevin Jennings.
I'm sure he does.
Changes everything.
Yeah, he would have probably had a very hard time playing against him, as he did all of those other great dual threat quarterbacks. But on that A&M game, I am on A&M as well, I must say. I am very, very annoyed by the Notre Dame discourse. I'm very annoyed by the AP poll with Notre Dame. Notre Dame has not won a game. Notre Dame has done nothing to warrant the respect of all these voters, still placing them ahead of teams like USF. But be that as it may, I do think A&M probably beats them. I think A&M has more things figured out right now than Notre Dame does. I still think Notre Dame is going to be a really good team, but this is they're going to play a group of grown men on defense for A&M, and while the Marcel Reed thing is a pretty radioactive type of thing, there were games of he's still throwing the ball, has not been totally effective. He has decent numbers through the first couple games here, but overall, I think Marcel Reed is probably a better dual threat quarterback than Kevin Jennings. But be that as it may, I'm big on A&M. I'm big on A&M in this game. I think you got to remember last year, Notre Dame did not have anything figured out in the beginning of the season. Northern Illinois went in there and beat them. So I think Notre Dame has the luxury of not having to chase anyone in a conference, not having to prepare for a conference title game or anything else. They know that these are the 2 toughest games on their schedule. They really don't see another tough team until they see USC. I don't think Arkansas is going to give them a particularly hard time. So yeah, I think that this is probably a game that A&M beats them. And it's going to be a situation where Notre Dame probably gets themselves together the rest of their schedule. But yeah, I'm big on A&M tomorrow. I'm big on that number, 6.5. Definitely taking that regardless. So yeah, I think A&M will beat them. So we'll see.
I think this game comes down to one thing. I can boil it. We saw Notre Dame get Notre Dame's offensive line struggle against Miami, and Miami get pressure on CJ. If Notre Dame can't improve on the offensive line and Cassius Howell just wrecks this game, that's the game right there.
Yeah.
This game comes down to can Notre Dame give CJ Carr some time and keep Cassius Howell at bay. If they don't, it's going to be a long day for CJ Carr. It's as simple as that for this game to me. Because I don't trust A&M on offense. I'm not bought in on Marcel Reed. I think Notre Dame's defense is good enough that I don't think Marcel Reed's just going to be going up and down the field on this Notre Dame defense. Yeah. Notre Dame's receiving core, as we mentioned, has improved a ton. So, if he can have the time to get the ball to these receivers, and Notre Dame can utilize probably the best running back duo in the country, and they can get those guys going, I think Notre Dame wins this game. If Cassius Howell wrecks this game, then that's the game right there. So for me, that's like the simplest part of this game is like Notre Dame's got to be better on the offensive line than they were against Miami. Because if you don't bring your A game against Texas A&M and a guy who's probably going to be a top 5 pick in the draft, it's going to be a long day. So yeah, that's literally when I think about this game, like that's the number one thing on my mind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean Notre Dame has to try to establish the run. They like, Sean McDonough in the broadcast, shouting out Jeremiah Love out of the witness protection program on his first carry of the game. They barely
What?
used him. Like, yeah, that was his call. He was like, Jeremiah Love out of the witness protection program. Voice crack and everything. But yeah, like they didn't really, I felt, tried to get him really going in that game. So they're probably going to try and force feed him significantly more than they did against Miami. Probably just because, I mean, the schedule again for them is relatively light coming up. So it doesn't make much sense for them not to use someone who we thought was like probably going to be a Heisman invite at worst, with Jeremiah Love. So yeah, that's if they can use that, establishing the run effectively, they're in good shape. Are you on a Discord server? What is going on?
No, I was just trying to plug my laptop in.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
You were either in the Instagram comments or like on
No,
Discord.
I'm just trying to follow along with New Mexico about a pound again.
Yes. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, I got A&M definitely covering and I think winning outright.
See, I'm on. I think Texas A&M will cover. I think Notre Dame wins. I think Miami has one of the better defensive line units in the nation. I do think A&M's D-line unit is good. They did lose a lot to the NFL. Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, 2 big guys they lost from that position group. And like you said, Matt, I think they're going to try and establish the run again with Jeremiah Love, who's probably the top running back in the nation. And I think they'll try that again. I think they'll have more success with that this week. And I think it'll be just enough of for them to squeak out a win. I still think Texas A&M will cover that number, though, at 6.5. I think the hook's important with that one. But for this game, I love the under. I think Notre Dame's defense will be able to do enough to stop that Texas A&M offense. Marcel Reed doesn't scare me that much. He's athletic, but I don't trust him consistently as a passer to make those plays that need to be made. I think with Notre Dame's style, they're going to take on offense. I think this game is, has under written all over it. And like last year's score was 23-13. The under would have cashed easily last year.
Yeah, the under's 50.5. Under 50.5.
I think we see a similar, game style this game from last year's. I don't think it's going to be very different. I think I think A&M will cover this one, but I think Notre Dame wins and the under hits pretty easily. Anybody else got anything for that one?
Gotta stop Cassius Howell.
Yeah. Question. Yeah. If Notre Dame does lose, what will it take in your minds to see them in the college football playoff?
They got to win out.
Yeah.
Minimum.
I think if they win out, they're in. I think if they win out, they're in. But like if they lose tomorrow, like the margin for error is gone.
It's nothing. Which again, though, let's say they do lose tomorrow, right? And then the margin for error is nothing. I mean, they lost to NIU last year and still made the playoff. So I'm not going to doubt Marcus Freeman that he can turn it around, even if they do lose tomorrow.
But like with the committee saying like, well, now who you play kind of matters in this, and who you beat kind of matters. Like if
that's Kurt Signetti.
Well, yeah, but if they, unless USC plays themselves into like pretty ranked contention, like what if their best win is against like an 8-4 USC team or something? Would that still be enough to like get them in?
It'll still be enough because I mean, like, what are the alternatives going to be? Like, would a 2-loss Illinois make it over a 2-loss Notre Dame?
It probably wouldn't be to that level, but I would say like they would probably, like, I don't know, Indiana's probably got 3 losses on their schedule. But if we said for the sake of argument, like Indiana won at Penn State, but they finished 10-2, like with that, I don't know. It's all hypothetical and down the road. But if they just beat literally no one, and they lost the only two, games on their schedule that they played anyone decent, one of them being at home.
But you got to think about when those games are being played.
Sure,
It's like a
yeah.
big factor. If they're on a 10-game winning streak come December, like I don't, whether you agree or disagree, like I don't think it'll be like up for debate. Like if they lose tomorrow and then go on a 10-game winning streak and they're sitting at 10-2 come November, yeah, there might be some people who are like, yeah, are we sure Notre Dame has the resume for it? But then it's like likely you're looking at them going up against like a 2-loss ACC team or a 2-loss Big Ten team, and it's like, well, like who in that like are there going to be enough like good teams in that discussion that would get a nod over a Notre Dame on a 10-game winning streak? And
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, let's just say like Georgia Tech beats Clemson tomorrow, but then Georgia and Miami beat them. Like, would Georgia Tech like not make it in over Notre Dame?
I don't think they would. No.
No, probably not. And it really depends on, the Miami game was 27-24, right? So a close game.
Yeah.
And then that depends. Okay, how does Miami finish the year? Do they have one loss? How many losses do they have? And let's say they lose to Texas A&M. How does Texas A&M look the rest of the year? Is Texas A&M a 2-loss team or a 4-loss team?
Well, we all know A&M's a 4-loss
it's
team.
4.
Yeah.
8-4. We celebrate it as a holiday for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's what the norm has been with Texas A&M is, have all this talent and then go 8-4, 7-5. But just for argument's sake, like,
Jimbo.
Yeah. But for argument's sake, let's say like Notre Dame would need both those teams they lost to have strong rest of the seasons for them to have a real shot at the playoffs, considering how weak the rest of their strength of schedule is.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting debate when it inevitably happens. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And I'm here for it.
I can't believe Big Noon is at Oregon Northwestern tomorrow.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah.
Is that the best Big Ten? Like that's the game.
I think that's unless I think that's one of the only conference games because Michigan plays Central Michigan, Ohio State plays Ohio, Penn State, as we talked about, plays Villanova. Indiana just played, so yeah, that's probably all you're getting. And Northwestern is like a borderline like FCS MAC team, so
yeah. And then Nebraska plays Houston Baptist. So
yeah, like what are we doing?
Maryland plays Towson. Wisconsin's at Bama.
Yeah, that's the only other one. They're not going to Bama, but
USC's at Purdue.
Yeah,
Lobos,
Did you just
baby.
see that?
Lobos, baby.
Hey,
14-0.
Good call so far. Minnesota's at Cal. I mean, there's not really much to pick from there.
Did you guys see the Minnesota Cal meme?
Yes.
That was weird.
Oh my gosh, dude. You got to explain that one, bro.
I'll just read it. It's like, so you've seen the memes all week, like how many days since blah blah blah.
Yeah, yes.
And the Minnesota Cal was, hold on, I'm looking for it. This was a good one. How many days has it been since your school made a mathematics professor so miserable that they quit suddenly and moved to a remote cabin in Montana where they mailed 16 bombs over 2 decades, killing 3 people and terrorizing the country? Minnesota says what? Cal says 17,276 days.
The Georgia Auburn one.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
No, that was Georgia, Tennessee.
Or Georgia, Tennessee. Sorry, I thought it was Georgia Auburn. What did that one say, Travis?
I'll pull that one up too. This is another good one.
These have been so funny, man.
Days since your enraged fans grilled and ate their own team mascot after a loss. Tennessee says what? Georgia says 48,781 days. after the first Auburn Georgia game, Georgia had a live goat mascot at the time, and Auburn won, and the Georgia fans were displeased and decided to kill and eat their goat mascot after that game. Fun fact: that was the first edition of the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
Insanity. All right, so anyway, on that crazy side note, let's do our school predictions for A&M Notre Dame. Jeffrey, do you want to start, bro?
I think this one could. I think it's gonna be low scoring. It could be decently high scoring, like maybe like a 31-24 A&M.
Okay, that's a lot of scoring.
That is.
I mean, I just witnessed a 48-45 game last week, and I mean, Big 12 is a lot of scoring.
Yeah. Luckily, none of these teams are in the Big 12.
Yeah, let's say Notre Dame, no conference.
Kevin Jennings.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Jesus
All
Christ.
right. Trav, what you got?
I think Notre Dame's gonna want to avoid the subject that Matt was talking about. They're gonna be desperate here. I think they're gonna come out and be a lot better. I'll go Notre Dame 20, Texas A&M 10.
Okay. Matt?
I have got A&M 17, Notre Dame 13.
Okay. I'm gonna go Notre Dame 20, A&M 14. I think it's gonna be that close enough to cover that spread and still hit the under, and Notre Dame wins. I think we see Jeremiah Love, get back to his ways and have a big game. All right, next one, our final game we're gonna be talking about. I just thought this was a fun one. It's not really that important for the scheme of college football and everything, but Vandy at number 11, South Carolina. South Carolina opens as a 2.5-point favorite. The total's at 49.5. Who wants to start with this one? Anybody got?
I can start with this one. I got one of my coworkers, like my work best friend. He went to Virginia Tech. The amount of times I've had to hear this guy talk about Brent Pry and how good of an atmosphere Virginia Tech is at night, and how like this team, and then you have Vandy go in and just dismantle them in the second half, compared to South Carolina at a neutral site struggled the whole game against Virginia Tech. So, I mean, riding heavy on the law transitives. I like Vandy here. Eli Stowers, Diego Pavia, that duo. I think Vandy's gonna win this one by like three or 5 points here.
Okay. Matt?
Well, I guess if it's as simple as what happened when you played Virginia Tech.
The transitive property.
Yeah.
Using big words.
Both
Is this
teams
the earliest
did
in the
win.
season we've ever had a common opponent matchup?
It
by
is the
way?
earliest for sure.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that.
And then, like Miami and Florida will have the same thing when they play next week. Yeah, I think it's a really awesome, fun matchup. I think people are sleeping on Vandy. I think they're going to be in the game until the end. I think South Carolina will beat them. But yeah, like obviously the transitive property, does that really hold up here? Like South Carolina won. They beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So well, he still ran for he ran all over him when he wanted to, but I don't know. I mean, you have to also factor in like that was like a weird Beamer game. Like his dad's there, like may or may not have been cheering for Virginia Tech. Like I don't know how that dynamic works with the Beamers.
Yeah, that was an awkward one.
Yeah, so that I don't know. That's kind of a weird one. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably prefer South Carolina. That's a good home atmosphere. And to this point, like I haven't seen enough Vandy to really feel like they can go outscore a team like South Carolina on the road. This is not last year's Auburn. Like it's a different road type of game for them to have to go win. Like, so yeah, I would, say that it'll be really close. I would probably
say South Carolina probably like outgains them by a decent amount, but Vandy will be in the game. They'll be in it, but yeah, I'll take South Carolina close.
I think like South Carolina has one of the best defenses in the SEC, and like we've seen them these first couple games like really take advantage of defense and special teams like the Beamer ball to win these games. Like I mean,
Mhm.
they had like what 2 pick sixes last week. I think I didn't go back and watch that game, but I did a little bit like, and then so like with that being said, like with how good this South Carolina defense is, like one of the best defensive fronts in the country, period. Maybe the best corner in the country. Um, one of the best special teams units in the country. It's like South Carolina is going to be disciplined and great on those aspects of the game. We're still waiting to see more from Lenore Sellers, obviously, but he hasn't really been in a position where he's had to take over either of these games yet, because those other units have been so good. And this is the thing where I think South Carolina takes this game over. With those things being said, like we know the thing with Diego Pavia is he's like college football's current version of like what Jameis Winston is in the NFL, where like Diego Pavia will take shots and have some plays that have no business going his way and have no business working out for Vanderbilt, and just finds a way to make it work. And that's like he's a magician, but he has plays where you're like, what the hell is he doing? Like, and with that being the factor here, and you're going up against a dominant defensive front, like great defense, one of the best corners in the country, like all those things, like I said, like I think South Carolina is going to be able to force Diego Pavia into these mistakes, taking those crazy shots that we see him take. And like, yeah, you might get lucky sometimes, and those will work, especially against Virginia Tech or whoever else they play. But like when you're playing a real great defense, one of the best in the country, like you're working with South Carolina, um, you're looking at a lot less likelihood that those aggressive, crazy plays are going to go your way. And we know Diego Pavia is going to take those chances. I don't like his chance of those plays being successful against the South Carolina defense, and ultimately, like I think he's going to turn the ball over a couple times, and South Carolina is going to be able to control this game, be at home, have that crowd on their side. And yeah, I think South Carolina is the better team here, and they should be able to handle their business.
Yeah. Yeah, I went back and forth on this when I flip flopped a little bit, but I do like South Carolina at home, especially laying such a small number at 2.5. Dylan Stewart's a monster, obviously. Lenore Sellers, probably the most athletic quarterback we have, best dual threat quarterback, in college football. Even better than Kevin Jennings, some would say. But yeah, I like South Carolina in this one. I like them to cover, and I do like the under in this one too. I feel like this should be one of those games where that defense really stifles Vandy and they struggle, and I like the under in this one.
I will say I do disagree. I like the over in this one.
I like the over.
You think
Yeah,
they'll be
I think Vandy's going to be aggressive. Like they're going to turn the ball over. I could see them getting in a hole in this game, like
and
trying to
airing
make a
it out, trying
comeback.
to get back?
Yeah, like I could see this one getting up there, and the number's not particularly high. It's like what 51.5, I think, something
It's
like
like
that.
49.5, so it plays into your hand. It's even lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see what you're coming from, and I could see that being a possibility. But I just think this South Carolina defensive line is going to give that Vandy O line some issues, and with Diego Pavia not being like a huge quarterback, I think that could be a struggle for him. Getting hit all night. I think the Vandy offense is going to struggle personally, and that's going to lean to the under in my favor, opposed to the over. But does anyone else have anything to say about this game? That's kind of the last game I had. Then, kind of want to get a little bit of a Heisman talk and kind of get, some thoughts about that before we close out.
Well, I had one more game I want to bring up before, but I'll give my prediction for this one first. I'll go South Carolina 34, Vanderbilt 24.
Okay. Matt?
I will say South Carolina 27, Vandy 20.
Okay. Jeff, your Joof.
I'm gonna go Vandy 24, South Carolina 21.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Love
I'm gonna go South Carolina 24, Vandy 17. That's gonna be my guess right there. And then Travis, what's the game you got?
So, this is not great teams, but 18 years in the making. The backyard brawl is tomorrow, and
Yeah.
how could any of us as college football fans forget the disaster of 2007 for Rich Rodriguez with the national championship berth on the line? Pat McAfee couldn't make a field goal.
Yeah.
Had some huge misses in that game, and Pitt pulled off one of the biggest upsets at that point in college football history.
Ever.
We've obviously
Yeah.
seen bigger ones since then. That was the biggest at the time. So with that being said, obviously Rich Rod, if you know, Rich Rod left West Virginia, not on great terms, had committed to stay at West Virginia, and then decided to go to Michigan after Les Miles was supposed to go to Michigan, then turned down the Michigan job. Kirk Herbstreit announced on College Game Day that Les Miles took the Michigan job, and that ended up not being the case. They pivoted to Rich Rod. This is probably mid-December at this point, and Rich Rod leaves West Virginia on terrible terms to go to Pitt. Obviously, was a disaster at Michigan for Rich Rod, and has really damaging to his career. Never got back to the level of coach that he was at West Virginia with a team on the verge of the national championship, and but now he's back at West Virginia, and for the first time in 18 years, he'll be taking on Pitt tomorrow, and the backyard brawl will be renewed. It's really unfortunate that West Virginia lost that game to Ohio last week, because game day was supposed to be going to West Virginia, and that was a done deal, it sounds like, until West Virginia decided to go and lose to Ohio. So that was really unfortunate, because that would have been an awesome game day with McAfee and Nick Saban being from there and everything. Nevertheless, I, whatever the line is in that game tomorrow, I'm on West Virginia in that game tomorrow, because
It's a touchdown favorite.
Yeah, I'm on West Virginia in that game tomorrow, and it's just Rich Rod is going to want to come out and exercise the demons of 18 years ago and the worst loss of his career, the worst loss in program history for West Virginia. That game's going to mean a lot to Rich Rod and to West Virginia and those fans and people in general. So yeah, just that's going to be an insane environment there tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be an emotional game for Rich Rod to be back in that rivalry, and I really like West Virginia to pull off an upset in that one.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the Twitter nonsense between both those fan bases, but it is awesome. Nothing quite like Brawl Week.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's just it's crazy how that game really shaped a lot of futures, honestly. That
game changed the landscape of college football.
You remember, Rich Rod was supposed to be the next Bama coach also. He was in talks for that Bama job when Saban got it, and then he, ended Michigan. But he was what Lincoln Riley has been, I would say, the last couple of years. That's the closest comparison that I can come up with, is that everybody wanted Rich Rod. Everyone wanted the spread. Everybody wanted what he had to offer. And Pat White was the real deal quarterback there.
And
Steve Slayton.
We're talking about legendary mobile quarterbacks.
Yes.
Pat White might have been the OG.
Yeah.
In that,
he's in that discussion. And Steve Slayton, the running back, was awesome. And it was crazy. People were fully prepared for West Virginia to play for the national championship. And then it all came apart there, which was kind of how that whole season went. That's the greatest college football season of all time. But yeah, now it's a kind of full circle for Rich Rod. So very cool that he's finally, because he had to work his way back to a program like West Virginia. Had some pretty rough stops before there, but he worked his way back and eventually got there. That being said, I think Pitt's going to beat him, and I think Pitt's going to beat him good. I think Pitt's significantly better than West Virginia. This is a really, I think that people are overlooking them since the start of the season. I think that they can probably be an 8 or 9 win team this year. I think they're that good, and they just there's a talent gap, I think, between both those teams right now. That's not to say that Rich Rod overtake that in the future or build West Virginia into a really good program again, but today there is a significant talent gap, I think, between both teams. So I would take Pitt. I think the line's close only because it's that big of a deal. It's a rivalry game, and that atmosphere totally out of control. More so than it already is. So, yeah, I would say Pitt beats him and beats him pretty good. I just think the talent gap is going to be on full display in that game. So we'll see.
And this is also the last backyard brawl until 2029. They're going to pick it back. They just signed on today to pick it back up in 2029 and have that through 2036. But so until then, for the next 3 years, this will be the last backyard brawl until then. Luckily, like I'm glad there is a future of that rivalry, and like we're gonna have it again in 2029. But for the next few years, it will not be happening. So, yeah, West Virginia obviously had the collapse last year too, where they lost that game. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree. Pitt is obviously the better team here, but I mean, you imagine since Rich Rod took that West Virginia job to go back there, like he's had this game circled on his calendar. Like if we win one game all year, like this is going to be the one.
Yeah.
And considering everything that happened there, and I mean, this is this whole team from Jacksonville State, pretty much that was a good team last year and won Conference USA. So like, I mean. Like this is not like this West Virginia team. It's not the most talented team, but it's a team like a large majority of these guys have been together and played together. And yeah, it's going to be a big one. I mean, we're just talking about the stories of that game too, and like just like to add because I alluded to it when I was like recapping the '07 game, but it's like Pat McAfee is one of the biggest figures in sports media and college football now on game day and everything, and like has openly talked about like that game being like the worst moment of his life and like the worst time of his life. And it's like just add that to like the layers of how impactful that game was is like is if he doesn't go through that time, like is Pat McAfee like Pat McAfee today? Like how much did that shape his story going through that time? So yeah, it's like that '07 game was like you said, like one of the biggest upsets of all time, one of the most impactful games like of the landscape of college football, and like for Rich Rod to be back there, yeah, I'm like that game's gonna mean a lot tomorrow, and yeah, I'm very excited to see it play, and I've always liked West Virginia. Like I have a lot of friends that went there and family that lived out there, so I'm really rooting for West Virginia to pull that one off tomorrow. But I wasn't gonna get out of here without mentioning that game.
Yeah, good call. I don't know how I missed that one, but, you know, my dad's from West Virginia. I have tons of family that still live up there. I've been to West Virginia all my life, love visiting it. I'm definitely rooting for them big time tomorrow. But, I mean, like Matt said and Travis said, Pitt's definitely the better team on paper. But I'm just hoping that Rich Rod can get the boys right and we can get one tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they did just lose to Ohio.
Yeah. Hey, it's a look-ahead spot.
It's a rivalry game, like, but we've seen like how
That's
many
true.
times have we seen it in college football? Like, you throw out the record books. It's a rivalry game. It's like 18. Like Rich Rod's been waiting 18 years to avenge that loss in '07. Like, God, I wish. Why couldn't they have just beat Ohio? Because that game day tomorrow would have been maybe like one of the greatest game days of all time.
Would have been an incredible one.
Pat said today, like they were going to induct him into like the West Virginia Hall of Fame. If game day was there, like we got robbed of like an all-time college game day.
If they just would have beaten Iowa, bro.
Yeah.
It was right there in front of you. That sucks. That
Yeah,
sucks.
that the other game got to get on the radar. Arkansas and Ole Miss play tomorrow. I know that's not like aesthetically pleasing sounding game. That line has gone all the way down to 6.5 for Ole Miss. This is also kind of similar to Billy Napier's. Sam Pittman's on the kind of the seat is heating up if it's not already on
Heating
fire.
up. Who gets fired
Yeah.
first, Pitt or Napier? They're both.
It's got to be
It's gotta be
he's
Napier.
old.
I think it's
He
Napier. I
coached-
think people of Arkansas like Pittman more. Like Pittman's at least likable, around there.
Sam Pittman coached the Liberty Bowl with a cane. He's old. I don't know if they're going to Isaac Tesla. Now that he's gone, he loved Isaac Tesla. But yeah, I don't know. I probably maybe on the way out. I would say, and then they'll certainly have their fair share of people who will want that job. But yeah,
It's going to
Tom
be
Green.
on, right?
It could be Gus or it could be McGuire
Gruden
from Texas Tech because he's a huge Arkansas guy.
Gruden.
So or Gruden, certainly. But all that being said, Arkansas still has Talon Green, the freak show at quarterback. I don't know how they were able to keep him. And I don't know how someone didn't just offer him a bag and get him to the team.
Who is this quarterback for Colorado? Why is he playing?
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a fair
He's
question.
horrible.
But yeah, I think Arkansas will keep that game close. That's at Ole Miss, I think. So that should be a fun game, and yeah, have fun watching Talon Green there. Should be I would say pretty high scoring. It's a 6-point total. So yeah, that should be a fun game, but should be close. So look out for a close, high scoring game there. And another game, if that's not one that goes Arkansas's way, could see Big Pitt, the chatter getting way louder. So we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see for sure.
I had to mention tomorrow too. I've mentioned it in our group chat. Two weird ones where I caught them on the schedule yesterday and today. Why is Oklahoma playing a road game at Temple?
Makes
and why
no
is
sense.
Iowa State going to Jonesboro, Arkansas to take on the Red Wolves?
So I would say Arkansas State has had now granted, I don't know why Iowa State is going there. But it is a tad weird. The Oklahoma one makes no sense. Temple is not programmed. Temple is the third program who get so Penn State usually Ohio State gets whatever Pennsylvania recruits they want, followed then by Penn State, followed then by Pitt, and then Temple just gets the scraps of who.
I would argue West Virginia is still above Temple in terms of Pennsylvania.
West Virginia just gets the scraps of who those programs don't want. So Evan Simon, the quarterback at Temple, from Manheim Central High School around here, is
Barons.
Yes, the Barons. Yeah, they are going to Temple. They are going all this way to play against them for reason. I don't know. Not that Oklahoma's above that, but I just would have thought okay, so you're probably paying to play against them, but you're going. You couldn't pay the extra to get them to come to you. I don't. It's a weird spot.
That's a sleepy spot for Oklahoma too, because
they're
Temple's catching. Yeah, Temple's catching 24, and Oklahoma just came off the Michigan game. They have Auburn coming in next week. That's a sleepy spot for Oklahoma. But as we established on this podcast earlier, Heisman's are won in September, so we get to see the Heisman winner, John Mateer.
Moneyline Mateer.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, are you gonna go? Are you gonna go check that one out? Go see the Heisman winner?
No, I'm not going to go. It's one of those that I will not be in attendance for Oklahoma. If it were LSU or I'm ashamed to say Bama might have gotten me there, but now, not this version of Bama now, but yeah, I certainly am not moved yet to see. I've not seen enough John Mateer. Like that guy, I have got to get to see him play, type of thing.
At the
He may
link.
well be by the end of the season, but yeah, I just am not. Yeah, Oklahoma's not moving the needle for me. Like going into the season, I thought they were going to be pretty good, but it's like one of those that it's like, if you go 4-9-3, I don't know. But it's definitely the best team that Temple's playing all season. So that's the only reason that, and I don't know how well the Oklahoma fans travel. I've always kind of wondered that. So we'll see. It's not like your traditional SEC fan base where they're probably going to take over. They should take over Temple, but yeah, I don't
I
really
think
know
Temple has
how
much of
they
an
travel.
athletic fan base there.
Yeah. So we'll see. But and then same thing for Iowa State, Arkansas State. That's a really weird. I don't know how that got together. I don't know how that got started. Yeah, that's a weird spot for Iowa State also. Coming off that Cyhawk win, and
Oh,
they
UCLA
gotta go
sucks, man.
play
Travis,
Arkansas
did you see
State.
that?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
They're bad. Sorry, Matt.
Well,
UCLA
while you plebeians are watching that game, I'm very busy watching Avery Johnson run into the end zone to tie this game with Arizona, Kansas State.
Oh, don't worry. I got
Yeah,
both.
buddy, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you mean? We got all three games on
Don't
here.
worry, pal. We got to figure it out.
I know you two are prepared. Yes, Joof, you need to. Yeah, you gotta get that
I'm
game
trying,
on the TV.
dude.
It's 17. It's 17 apiece now. So
Yeah.
Avery Johnson versus Noah Fafita. What a way to spend your Friday night.
Yeah, that
I
game
guess I'm
has
watching-
huge.
Rather do
That
nothing
game has
else.
huge Big 12 repercussions because K-State's
Huge.
not out of it yet. They only have one conference loss.
Well, this
I mean,
doesn't
they're-
count.
I don't know.
So
They're pretty
there's
cooked.
no Big 12
They're
implications.
cooked.
They're
They're
terrible.
pretty cooked. After
They
that
lose
North
tonight,
Dakota
their
game,
season's done. They're gonna give up.
yeah, after that
Juve
North
just
Dakota showing, they're probably pretty cooked.
Juve doesn't even know his own conference. Like we talked about this. So you said there's huge Big 12 implications. Like no,
There
there's
are.
not.
K-State's not out of it yet. They don't play. They already
This game
played.
doesn't count.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
You
Okay.
said
But
you were the one
still.
who brought that up.
I know. I thought.
How'd you
this
forget,
one did.
dude? You
You're
did hit
right,
that
you're
flag down in the back. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I'm too in depth on the Lobos here.
Okay.
Goodness,
He's trying
yeah.
to pivot.
Are you on Lobos
So-
money line too?
Yeah, I'm riding it. Took their spread at plus 16 too.
So,
Oh,
I want to start a segment on the show, Juice Hot Takes. Juice, I unleashed one with Kevin Jennings in Tim Tebow lore and Lamar Jackson lore, Johnny Manziel lore. Yeah, what's the hottest Juice take that we can get going into this week here? What do you have for us?
I don't really have any scorchers that. I think Nuss is
Kevin
gonna burn
Jennings
out.
is.
Well, Kevin Jennings, I think, is a great quarterback. I think SMU bounces back this week because they play nobody on their schedule. I'd say probably.
I mean, Vanderbilt beating some, I feel like, is a pretty hot
I
take.
think this is kind of the game that just acts as Lenore Sellers to even stay in the Heisman contention this year. I know we're saying Heisman's are made in September, but they're also not made in September. I think this is the
true.
game that gives it up.
Oh
for
yeah,
Lenore.
Johnny Manziel was on everybody's radar in September.
Lenoris is just not. This is not his year. He has another year next year, maybe next year. Beamer needs to
Norris is
pack
probably going to go after this
Yeah,
year.
I was about to say.
He's
I
eligible.
guess.
Yeah, he's eligible to go. But
Dude,
Juve,
does Auburn beat South Alabama tomorrow?
Yeah.
oh, whoa. Bishop Davenport for South Alabama. That quarterback, Utah State transfer, watch out. They could cover that number tomorrow.
Major
What is it,
Applewhite
24?
bringing
Yeah.
the boys in. What a name!
Major Applewhite. Yeah. He was once a big name in the industry. He got the job after Tom Herman went to Texas. he got the Houston job and subsequently did nothing with it. So, yeah, great name though. Agreed strongly. So, yeah, Juve, do you have a guarantee for us? I'm basically treating you like Charles Barkley of
like a guarantee,
program. Yeah,
like Nick this weekend.
Yeah, give us your lock. Like, what is your lock of the week of the games we've discussed?
Out of everything we discussed tonight, my lock is I still think USF's covering the 17.5. I think that's my lock, that they cover 17.5. I think Golish has built his team gritty. I think they can. I don't think they're going to win. I think they'll hang in there, though. And 17.5 is a pretty large spread.
We didn't even discuss, like, it's Power 4 versus Power 4. We didn't even discuss Bama, Wisconsin. Anybody,
Wisconsin sucks.
Any funny business there, or does Bama
I don't think
roll?
so. Wisconsin has quite a few injuries that they got to deal with, and I think
absolutely Wisconsin's very good.
I think Kalen's finally going to start feeling the pressure here that it's piss or pot here. So, yeah, that's a game that they should probably run Bama off or run Wisconsin off the field.
Did you guys see the interview with the one woman, where
Yeah.
like she bought the Powerball tickets? And they were like, "What would you do if you won the Powerball?" She's like, "I'd take the first 70 million. I pay off Kalen DeBoer's buyout, and then however much to pay off the AD too."
Yeah, knowing Greg Byrne, he's probably like, find that woman, arrest her. Yeah, that's hey, Paul.
We all since Juve gave his lock, we all need to have our lock of the week for the games we talked about.
Oh, buddy.
Travis,
LSU's beating Florida. That's the easiest one I can give you.
What'd you say?
LSU's beating Florida. That's the
LSU's
easiest one I can give you. Yeah.
I mean, I think my lock is going to be UGA minus 3.5. Like, I love that play.
Hold on. I'm looking at this slate. Let me find one. Somebody say something. Don't just leave me.
Goof, I need to know here is how competitive will Samford be with Baylor?
I think the starters are benched by the end of the first quarter.
First quarter.
I think Sawyer's going to have an off week. I don't think he's going to play past halftime for sure. And then two, we're just going to run the ball. We have a lot of depth and young guys, especially at the running back position. Our RB2 right now, he's a true freshman. RB3, true freshman.
So there's no look ahead. Like Arizona State's coming next week. I think
our defense too is. I mean, they're hurt. So I think, like Jackie Marshall, our best guy against the run, he's banged up. Carl Williams, one of our safeties, he's banged up. Those two are the guys who they're our core of our defense. That's why we let Jackson Arnold do whatever he wanted against us. We had no answer for him the entire game. And I don't blame Miranda looking back on it. Keeping the two safeties high did shut down the pass game, but that's what you take. And then your guys who are designed to stop the run don't play, and you just get beat because you're just not that good there. But yeah, it is what it is.
And I'm gonna need to ask you, who is more overrated today, Lenore Sellers or Sam Levitt?
I'd say Lenoris.
Really?
I think
more overrated between Lenoris and Kenny.
Kenny Dillon. That guy sucks. He sucks. He's going back to the bottom of the Big 12 after his stars, Jordan Tyson. They're going back to the bottom where they were preseason picked to finish last year. They're going back.
Nice.
I got my lock tomorrow. I had to look through the slate. This is like all time sleepy. USC is going to West Lafayette, Indiana, to take on Purdue tomorrow. Purdue's catching 21 points. I don't think Purdue's going to win, but that's that's as sleepy as it gets. Like we know what USC is under Lincoln Riley at this point. It's also like the Big Ten game of the week on CBS, so be sure not to miss that one. Yeah, Purdue will cover that number like easily. I think Purdue will be in that game.
Yeah.
No one hates this realignment stuff more than Gary Danielson. He's just like, he could be at Georgia, Tennessee tomorrow, and instead he's at Purdue.
Yeah, that was CBS's choice.
Yep,
They,
it's
they
true.
They chose to bid on the number 2 Big Ten game every week instead of
Yeah.
the SEC package that they had. So
Yeah, if you didn't hear it, Travis, I said my lock of the week was Georgia -4.
I'm with that as well.
I mean, how many times are we going to see it over and over and over that Kirby Smart literally owns Josh Heupel? Like, until I see a Josh Heupel-led team beat a Kirby Smart-led team, I'm just not going to believe it. I'm not going to buy into it. I have to see it first.
I'm with it.
But I think that's all I've got for tonight's show. Does anybody else have anything?
Nope.
All right.
Good.
Got it.
Oh, I saw one more on the slate. I'll give another lock. President Joe Biden's alma mater will get their first FBS win tomorrow. Delaware beats UConn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Played in the Huskies.
Nice.
If UConn loses, do they run suicides after or no? Does that
I
happen?
don't think so. I don't think they'll be inspired by Fran. That's
Okay. Just had to throw that out there and see if that was a possibility.
Syracuse lost practice time for doing that,
Yeah.
by the way, right?
Did they really?
Yeah. Hope that was worth it, Fran.
He made a statement. Or like, look at this.
This
That's
is a
how
huge
you coach.
This is a huge measurement here, by the way.
I don't know why they didn't just take the 3.
Ah, shit.
He didn't get it.
Should have taken the 3.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be up till 1:00 in the morning sweating out the Lobos. So
It's honestly probably the same. Yeah.
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 I took their money line. So,
Well, if that's all we got, I want to appreciate anybody who was here watching live for our first show of the Untitled College Football Podcast. Name pending, trademark pending, all that's going to be figured out soon enough. Appreciate all y'all coming in, boys, helping us with a good show for the first time. Hopefully we can keep this going.
yeah, you need to find a new date, or a new day of the week.
Yeah,
because you're in one shining recap territory right now.
Yeah, I need to respect the ones before me.
Yeah, we'll be taking our Friday nights back. So
understood.
Friday afternoons with Rob Doster. Yeah.
Well, Trav, you can cut the live anytime you want, man. I think you got the power to do it. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah. See ya. I'm going to go sweat this game out, eating some dinner.